My name is Steve Wheeler. I'm a missionary with Go To Nations, and currently I am serving in Thailand and the Southeast Asia region. I focus mainly on leadership development and leadership training, so most of my typical week or typical month is I'm usually preparing to teach in a class. I first joined Go To Nations back in 1996. We were known as Calvary International back then. And I served a couple of years in the Philippines with our base in Manila. And then I've been in Thailand since 2007. God had spoke to me when I was in Bible school a few years later about going to take a trip to Mexico. And I had this struggle between wanting to obey God and being obedient to God, but yet wanting to protect my job. And during that time, it was during the Thanksgiving season. And so my company was not going to let me have the time off to take the trip. So I went up through several levels of management, and one day, finally, the Lord said, "Are you going to trust me with your life, or are you going to trust your company that you're working for with your life?" And so I ended up quitting my job and taking that first trip to Mexico. And it was during that time that God just really, every day, He broke my heart for that particular nation. And every day the Holy Spirit would say to me, "If I called you to live, come here and live, would you come? Would you come? Would you come and live in a dirt floor house with no running water? If I called you to that, would you come?" And every day, that whole trip, that whole 10 days, I cried, because every day the Holy Spirit was dealing with my heart. My heart was breaking. And I can still remember where I was the moment I just said yes to the call of God. You know, God He's really given me one of the most exciting, adventurous life that I could never, it's beyond my wildest dreams and expectations of what I ever wanted to do in life. And sometimes I'm laying in bed at night sometimes, I'm thinking, "God, you are so good, because if you knew my testimony and what I came out of, and what God is doing in me now and doing through me, it's just mind-boggling. I should not be doing what I'm doing today. But by the grace of God and by my willingness to be obedient to His calling and His leading, I have this great adventure that every day it's an adventure. It's an adventure with challenges and struggles and trials, but it is an adventure that I would never want to trade. Christ the Redeemer Church, I would just like to personally thank you for partnering together with me for these many, many years that you've been partnering together with me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for continuing to give your finances and pray and minister to the people that are out there on the front lines.